Thanks, Iolanda, for your invitation and the opportunity to moderate this interesting panel. One of the most important challenges that Barcelona and his companies has for the 2030 is to attract and retain talent. We are competing with Spanish and European cities, so we need a plan to achieve this goal. We have to put together to work the governments, the companies, the research institutes, and all these universities and schools that we have in the Barcelona city to define the most important skills and the needs of the future to draft a next generation of jobs and training for the community European. In Barcelona at Network, we are working on it. We connect the public and the private sector for a more sustainable future, boosting strategies for inclusive, multicultural, and diverse talent. We have 4 ways to help companies to enhance the talent in our ecosystem. So we have a working group led by Iolanda Triviño that works on the basics of talent and have a very interesting project called DDOT, a study with 250 companies to define digital roles and skills for the future job post. That it's a very interesting project. We encourage our members to work on open innovation with the startups. I think this is a good way to create new projects and work together with interesting new innovations. So the talent in startups in Barcelona nowadays is very hard, and we can work together with big companies to create a new project or innovative challenge for a better project. We, at the same time, we are putting talent together to create new projects and to apply for European funds. In the association, we are putting all the groups we have. We have in groups from different parts, innovation, talent, and different kinds of activities. So we are putting all together to work to create new projects and apply for European funds. And we connect companies of different innovation districts to work together. We think that the talent is everywhere and can work together in the same way. So, and COVID nowadays, we have seen that it's important and can work together, and can work together. So we go to the first panel. The first person who will talk today is Gabriel Rizola. He will present the European Commission projects. He's a senior scientist at the Joint Research Center, the in-house science service of the European Commission. Hi, Gabriel. Nice to be with you. Could you explain a little bit about the projects?
Your mic.
I was mute, sorry. Good morning, everybody. I'm the senior scientist at the Joint Research Center, which is, as Isabel said, a service of the European Commission for knowledge production and scientific production in support of policy making. And we have a research line which is about what we call innovation ecosystems, which are rooted locally, like, for example, Barcelona, but others. And from this perspective, I would like to talk about how, let's say, important talent is for the development of these ecosystems. And as we are, let's say, having this talk in the context of Barcelona Startup Congress, make a special reference, let's say, to the startup community. So we started in 2017 to study these innovation ecosystems. The first one we studied was in Finland, Aalto, which is in Helsinki metropolitan area. And there we were looking at how, let's say, after Nokia decline, a strong ecosystem was born there, which was led by the University of Aalto, which is a entrepreneurial university, which had a very, let's say, strong students movement pushing for innovation and for, let's say, developing their own projects. And today we have a strong startup community there. They organize annually a congress that started being local, but now is international, which is called Slash. And what we can see in this ecosystem is that this is, let's say, the result of a collaboration between many actors, not only the university, which was somehow the driving force, but, for example, the city government and the regional government. And this is, let's say, a pattern that we will see repeating in other places. If we come to Barcelona, for example, we have been studying in Barcelona what we call digital social centers ecosystem. So it's more about citizen innovation. It's about the many places that are spread out in the city, for example, not only in the city, also in the metropolitan area, for example, Fab Labs, telecenters, libraries offering access and training on digital things, etc. And in these places, innovation is growing, coming from the citizens themselves, from their projects. Also, for example, the city lab in Hospitalet. There are many good examples, and all them are contributing, let's say, to put the seeds for, let's say, becoming then an entrepreneur, either a technological entrepreneur, but also a social entrepreneur. And what we have been doing is, let's say, helping the Catalan government thinking how to connect this citizen innovation with the broader research and innovation ecosystem, which implies universities, centers of research, but also enterprises, and let's say what we call quadruple helix collaboration, which is government, universities, businesses, and civil society. We also examined specifically the startup movement, for example, Ljubljana in Slovenia, where there is a technology park which is giving support to this movement. This technology park is an initiative of the municipality of the city together with other partners. But they are not alone in that endeavor. They are doing this with an entrepreneurial fund that was put by the national government to support entrepreneurial projects, innovative entrepreneurial projects, and also a business incubator, which is private, which is also collaborating in this task. So we can see in each one of the contexts we have been studied that there are, let's say, when they are succeeding to create a startup critical mass, is because there are many conditions that are met. From, let's say, this conglomeration of actors who are somehow collaborating between each other, and there is one or two who are leading this and coordinating this. Also, when there are, let's say, funds coming either from the private sector or the public side, and there we have to make reference to the European projects, which are, even if sometimes they are bureaucratic, they offer many opportunities to fund innovative ideas, and many other conditions that I will not refer to here, but this creates really, let's say, makes a territory, a city, or a neighborhood, like, for example, an innovation district like 22 At, or 22@, being attractive for entrepreneurs, for startups to set up there and start, let's say, growing their own ideas in that context. I think I will stop here, and then I can expand these ideas in the question and answer session, or part of the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel. Very interesting. I think we can talk a little bit more after. Let me introduce now the Claudia Dagil. She's the founder of Meet and Map in Maresma, Barcelona, an international association to promote social entrepreneurship and partnerships. He will introduce with Mary Rose Francisca the concept of the FIT European projects on the circle economy. Hi, nice to be here.
Hello, Sibel, thank you.
Could you explain a little bit more about your projects and how you have reached these the FIT in European projects?
Yes, for sure. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Iolanda. Well, yes, I want to talk a little bit about my experience, how I built Meet and Map. It was built in Valkiria Hub Space in 2014. It was a perfect ecosystem for potentials, and I was working for them, and slowly I felt the need that I had to do something for myself. My father is from Palestine, and my mother is from Peru. And I guess I built this project of Meet and Map to a little bit find myself with the others. No, every time I see somebody aligning with his own purpose, and every time I help others to cooperate between each other, I feel I find a little bit more about myself and what I can give. So it makes me feel alive and well. Meet and Map now at this moment, even it was born in 2014, it's only 2 years ago that was really rolling with European projects, because I met in Valkiria my mentor in European project, which is Daniel Weiss. He's been doing European projects for 25 years with Lego Serious Play, and he told me there are funds for women, and they are not presenting proposals. Like nobody's presenting proposals. I was like crazy, like, what do you mean? So I will build something aligned to my own purpose, how I imagine myself in the future. And I will create Meet and Map, which has an area for women that's called the Women's Map. And yeah, that's where I started the adventure, and now we have the opportunity to place our social office in an incubator in Café de Mar in Mataró. So they give us 3 years to stay there in a nice office so we can ground our roots. And during this COVID stage that we are living, I sent some emails, presentations to different networks, and I had the chance that Valeria Elia, which is the writer of the European project that we are talking now, that is the name FIT. It's our European project is it's called FIT, Financial Literacy and New Business Models to Boost Women Entrepreneurs' Possibilities. So we will talk deeper about this. So Valeria Elia, she is part of our consortium. She's a partner from Italy, and she's a leader of Framework Association. But in the consortium, she represents Aregai, which is another association. And we are 6 partners. We are 6 partners in this project. It's led by our Greek partner. It's the name of the organization is Institute for Entrepreneurship Development in Greece. So they coordinate the project. And Mary Rose is also, of course, one of our partners from Malta. She's leader of Skill Zone. And then we have from Lithuania a university, SMK, it's called the university. And we have an association from Poland called Viva Femina. And I think I don't I miss anyone else. Mary Rose.
Then Mary Rose will just explain a little bit more.
Yes, we started some months ago. We are still developing. It's about a training program.
Okay.
A training program that will have a result. It is for women that want to start a business or reshape their business with a circular economy criteria, because for us circular economy is a must in all the management decisions.
Yeah.
Like we visualize the future like circular economy in the future, in the ideal
Everywhere,
future.
I think
Exactly.
at
It's
the
not
end
like
it
an
could be
option
everywhere.
that you choose. It's something that we
You have to be
consider
inside, no?
it,
Consider it
exactly.
inside
Something
every
natural.
project.
Exactly, like it's natural to be circular, to be considerate with
With
our
our environment.
environment. Exactly, this is our purpose, no? So. What else I can tell you about? I prepared some notes. I wanted to say something about women, like why we do it for women. And there's a sentence that a quote that I read from Maya Angelou, which is a writer with African origins.
Okay.
She says that every time a woman stands for herself, without knowing it or without even claiming it, she is standing for all of the women. I love this quote.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's very empowering and inspiring. And so here I wanted to say that FIT project is Key Action Line 2, Strategic Partnership for Adult Education, because European projects have a lot of financial lines. So our line is a Key Action 2, which is a strategic partnership for adult education. And I think I said the most important. So yes, if you want, we can go deeper after with the questions, and we can give the word for Mary Rose.
Yeah, we can give the chance to Mary Rose Francina, is Director of Skills on Malta and Executive Coordinator of the Foundation for Women Entrepreneurs in Malta, and has a lot of experience in European projects. So you can explain a little bit more about FIT European projects and your experience on it?
Okay, so good morning everyone. I am Mary Rose from Malta, and yes, I have quite a number of years now of experience in project management, about 17 years, and I am a partner in this project with my new company, which is Skill Zone Malta, where we do a lot of soft skills training. The project really takes a holistic approach towards encouraging women to take up, to be sustainable in the circular economy. In fact, it has a framework where we have to update and do a skills assessment to these women. And then we have an e-course, which is online. It is a modular course, and basically it focuses on three main areas. So to increase skills and competences in the following areas, which are finance, the circular economy practices, and leadership skills. Then we have different thematic sessions, which can be face-to-face, hopefully. By the time that we implement them, the situation with COVID will be better. And we will help these women in different stages of the business plan preparation and experiential learning, which is learning by doing. So literally we do hand-holding and offer support and tell them about learning possibilities. And which is very important in this project, we do mentoring. So we are envisaging that 100 women from these 6 partner countries of the consortium will be mentored in this program. Apart from this is our main target group, which is the women entrepreneurs, the startups. But then we have another target group, which is the trainers, the coaches, the HR management, the business consultants, who wants to use this model, the FIT program, into their work And we are going to create a handbook and other digital tools to be used by these coaches. Obviously, because this is a European funded project, everything is for free. We are, as Claudia said, we are in the first stages because the project has just started. So we are in the first stages of doing the content of these modules, and hopefully by later on this year we will start the implementation, and we will source out the women who would be our learners in this project.
Perfect. Thanks. So I will start with some questions. First of all, I would like to do a question for all, and then individual questions. So first one is, in your opinion, and we can start with here. I think better with Claudia, that you are here. So in your opinion, what will be the future of the jobs like? Do you think we will work in a company, or we will work directly with projects inside a community?
Well, it's a very good question. In my experience, I've been always changing jobs, because I was this typical that cannot work with something that you don't feel that you are connected
without
with.
Passion.
Without passion, without understanding the purpose, and without understanding your role inside the team and how you complement each other with your time and your talent. No, so this was a big obsession for me, and also I wanted to honor my ancestors with my multicultural background, and I wanted to work in a multicultural environment. So if now this is the tendency, like it's a global tendency, we're going to be so diverse in experiences and in culture. So we have to learn to live with this diversity, and for me the only way to sustain this uncertainty and all what we have to build in the future is to be very hooked in oneself, and to be able to do
to be your own company at the end.
Well, you can work with others and still you are your own company, because you're giving your time.
Yeah, yeah, that's why.
You're only, how do you say in English, el patrimonio, no? Yeah. Is your time, and this is the most valuable thing we have, our time. So, but if you are in an environment that understands you, if your company recognizes you, understands you, and helps you to grow inside, you don't have to be an alone entrepreneur looking to connect. You are feeling already interconnected with your environment. So I really hope that all these European projects and all the human resources policies inside the companies and the individual attitudes of the people could slowly work towards the understanding that we need to feel good with what we're doing. No? We need to feel relaxed. I always think about nature, how nature grows. Nature, I don't believe grows with so much stress or noise, or the seed already knows.
They flow.
Yes, the seed already knows it's going to be a tree. She knows she will give her fruit, and this fruit will bring more seeds. So I hope all this tendency helps us to calm down and to grow organically, naturally. Yes.
Perfect. And for you, Gabrielle, what's your opinion on this question? We will work in a company or in a community with different kind of projects?
Well, first of all, very good points raised by Claudia. I identify myself with what you are saying. I'm a project-oriented person, so I have been always, let's say, looking for projects where I feel comfortable working in.
That's important.
Or leading them, or because many times it was myself who was, let's say, the starter. No, I think it's also it doesn't matter whether you are, let's say, an entrepreneur, so leading your own endeavor, or an intrapreneur, so somebody who inside an organization makes a change, no? or promotes change. And to me, this is the important part. No, let's say being an engine of change, and projects are always, let's say, putting a goal, a common goal that then is pursued by the different partners or members of the team, etc. And another important aspect is, we were talking about interculturality, multiculturality, diversity is very important, and also multidisciplinarity, which is increasingly important. I'm by training, I'm both let's say a technical person and somebody from from the humanities sciences.
Okay.
Because I have studied also philosophy and psychology.
Wow.
And informatics. And at the time I studied all this, I was pioneering in this combination, because there were it was uncommon. And now increasingly we see this combination of technical and social skills, no, which are increasingly growing. But having a good understanding also of other cultures or other languages, etc., of course, is somebody that increases your capacity for collaboration, etc. So I think, coming to your original question, we will increasingly, let's say, be less fixed to companies or to organizations, I think, and be more based on projects, on common goals, and on big societal projects. Because when you were speaking about circular economy, the European Commission has a strategy for that, and your project is contributing to that. So I have this, let's say, way of thinking where, let's say, we can integrate the dots in a major common goal.
That's perfect. Yeah, at the end we were being more human. At the end, more humanity, introducing more less technology and more humanity on this kind of roles. Working in a community, sometimes it goes better for persons. As you said, Claudia, you feel better, you feel more passion, and you are putting all your skills in one project. So, for your opinion, Mary Rose, what do you think? What's the future?
I wish I can predict the future, but I really agree with what Gabriel said, because I think that the two magic words now for post-COVID will be flexibility and proactiveness, because we really don't know. We don't know. I think that in the next 10 years, artificial intelligence and robotics are going to be very big, and they will take over some of the jobs. So we have to be flexible enough, to move with the times, especially people who are not digitally born, who are like my age. So people find it harder to try new situations, but it is never too late to learn. There are the tools and a lot of projects, but being flexible. I don't see that in 10 years time the vast majority of the people will have the 9-to-5 traditional jobs, so it will be more project based. In fact, we already started to see it now, that people are like self-employed or freelancing, and working on different projects, which I think is more interesting as well, because you get to do a lot of different things. But the secret is being flexible and being open for change. As we know, COVID changed all of us. It was an unprecedented, I think, in our times, that something like this happened, which stopped the world. Probably our world is telling us something, just to take care of it and stop and think and listen to ourselves. And hopefully people will be open, to hone their soft skills, which will be very important, because what makes us different than machines, really? It is our soft skills. It is how we communicate with people, the humanistic approach. So I think if we upskill in those skill sets, we will be happier, and we will make the world a better place as well.
Oh, thank you. It's perfect. So I will start with a question to Gabriel. Due to your experience in European project, what's the best way to put talent together to create a new project?
Very good question. Well, I don't have let's say a formula for that. Oh yeah, I'm not mute. But let's say that trust is very important when you are building partnerships. This is essential, that you, let's say, work with partners in which you trust. And many times this requires also, let's say, taking risks, because you have to engage with partners who you don't have collaborated before. But it's precisely the projects which demonstrate you who is really doing what has promised to do, or who's skilled to do that, etc. So, because it's the world of European projects, it's really a world where there are very different quality levels, and also very different levels of engagement. And it's very important also that there is a good coordination. So a partner or a project manager who is really, let's say, who has clear ideas of what to do or where to go, let's say, in case the consortium is a bit lost in the process. So all this is important. Then when creating the teams, it's important also to look at the soft skills we were talking about before. No, for sure, multiculturality is an asset, because European projects are by default run by let's say, organizations based in at least 3 different countries. And also this multidisciplinarity, which gives you a complementarity of skills, visions, etc. So there is not a magic formula. It's something you learn by doing, but it's critical for the success of the project.
Thank you, Gabriel. And in your case, Gabriel, how you start trusting with the other companies?
You mean me?
In your project?
How I start trusting?
Yeah.
Well, when you're I'm learning. No, it's my second European project.
Yeah.
The first one was an exchange of good practices between 8 partners. So for me, the idea of cooperation was very big, but the practice of cooperation was
how you meet people, how you say, so okay, open. I wouldn't work with this one.
I practiced to be open, and then to respect the experience of others, because sometimes there was a partner that was maybe not so much involved, but when they invite us to their country and we see the cultural environment, the story, where she comes from, you know, it's like, well, maybe in the practical part she has not been so involved, but I have respect for the experience, and that helped me a little bit manage my emotions to understand, and also to keep on forward, because also
keep on going,
keep going, because if one partner is not so much involved, well, there will be another project with the next one, and between the others we make the balance. So this partner that's not so involved, we make that the project at last will lift to the level it has to be, with the balance and the cooperation with the others. Because also when you are working with different partners, like it's maybe there is 1 or 2, but it's very difficult.
When you are 6,
when you are 6, that the 6 ones are not, and the coordinate, it would be too much disaster. I didn't live that. Maybe Marie Rose, that has 25 years experience, she can tell you.
No, the second question is for Marie Rose. How you manage this, working with different directly, different companies, different people, different, how you trust, how we manage to project management?
I mean, I'm a people's person, so I don't find it difficult to relate to people, you know, and I think networking is the key, and getting to know people, putting a face to an email address, you know, it makes a lot of difference. I remember doing things, for example, like going to Brussels and leaving my business cards in hotels and conference room. And then like 6 months after, somebody will send an email, you know, and they say, I went into your website. You know, it's very important to keep your website very updated, and they would like to cooperate. But then, you know, you always have a face-to-face call and get to know the person. Yes, I think experience helps in these people, and the European circle is quite small actually, you know, and people know each other. It's we all know the people in the projects that we work in. A best practice I think that came out, for example, from this project is that myself with Skills Zone, Claudia with Meet and Map, and Valeria Elia, who is the writer of Fit Project, and she's got her company which is called Framework. We decided that we are 3, you know, women-owned companies, and we are going to get together and explore possibilities together. We are very complementary, our skills are very complementary to each other, so we are not in competition. And we decided like to go for new projects, the 3 of us together. So that is, I mean, one case of best practice. And like this, I have a lot of groups here and there, you know, and it's very important to attend, especially now they're doing them online, webinars, info sessions by the European Commission. It always helps, and we did speed dating, you know, these type of exercises will get to know the partners. And then, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, so my gut feeling, you know, I say that partner will be good, you know, and mostly it's, but if you have like a professional coordinator and some partners who have experience in projects, they will pull the others as well, you know, it's because it's a consortium and everybody helps each other. And nobody wants the project to fail. So everybody, the more experienced one, give a helping hand to the others. So I suggest that it's networking.
Okay, that's perfect. And experience at the end, if you, when you meet someone, if you have some experience and you can see the projects he has done, you can easily trust better. Yeah, I think we will work with different people, different companies, different countries. Yeah. At the end, we need these skills. So, yeah, really to end the session today, I would like to ask Claudia how European programs have helped to create new companies outside its programs. We talk a little bit about how you experience working with this group, and then we can create projects outside European programs.
Yes, I'm just in this point now, because as they gave us the office and we have this European project, so I'm trying to network inside Maresme, in the local region. With the European project in hand, I can say that we have a consistent training program coming, so I can offer it, and so people can see myself more reliable, more trusted, because I have the responsibility to manage with 6 partners and European projects. So this makes me more identifiable, no? Yeah. People can see what they can expect from me and from my organization, and then I use this trust to make the network, to build a network in the local level. So I am just in this point now, building slowly connections with public entities, with private, and with social entities, because Meet and Map is cross-lining sectors, is to find complementary sectors. So I'm using it as an opportunity to build this network. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. So that's the end of this panel. Thank you all to be here. And thank you all the people who are listening us, and see you here next time.